Hello everyone, it's Janet and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a card with a brand new stamp release from Art Impressions. It's a matchbook card in the theme of coffee shop. It is super cute. So let's get started and I'll show you how this all goes together. To make this card, you're going to need the Art Impressions steel die, which is called MB template die number 5317. This includes a few accessories like the rugs and this nifty little easel, which will hold your card up when it's open. You'll see that in a few minutes. And then we've got a sentiment holder that also stands up and works great with the sentiment in the stamp sets. There's some shapes there to decorate, as well as some windows. We have the window frames on the bottom right and the window openings on the top left. Now in the coffee shop set number 5403, these are the stamped images you're going to get, and there's of course matching dies to go with these as well. But on the left are the simple stamped images, including that sentiment, and on the right I have them all colored up using Copics. To save everyone's sanity, I have gone ahead and colored these with Copic markers off camera, but I have included all the color families so that you can follow that if you'd like. You'll find those in the video description and in the blog post. In this set you'll get the counters and the display cases for the coffee shop, as well as some signs and that cute little hanging mug set. To start this project, I'm going to take the template die and pull off the main piece, which is the card base itself. And then I'm going to put this down on my 6x6 paper. I chose to use double-sided paper because when it's folded shut, you're going to see both sides. However, you could use single-sided and then stamped one of the other sides, probably the outside, but that's just an option. Now here's what it looks like after you cut it all out, and at this point it's ready to fold over. The die includes the score lines, so it's very easy to see where it should be folded over, and then you can just use a bone folder or a Teflon folder to burnish the score lines in. You can see there's one on each side, there's one at the bottom, and then there's also a fold line at the top, and then another fold line that makes the cute little canopy once the scene is open. The die also cuts this little tab opening, which allows the matchbook to be shut, and the top will slip into that tab to make the matchbook secure. Now the first time you do this, it might not just slip in easily, but it just takes a couple times and it becomes very trained to do so, and it's very easy after that. Once you have it shut for the first time, I recommend taking your bone folder and again burnishing all the score lines. This again helps the cardstock to fold in the right places once it's got a little bit of thickness inside from the different layers. The next step I wanted to do was put some windows in this, and this is totally optional, but the set comes with 4 window dies, 2 smaller ones and 2 larger. To cut the holes for the windows, you'll want to use the smallest dies because the larger window dies actually cut the frames. So they've really thought of everything with this little set. You'll see that the frames are cut and I'm just gluing those in place. I put them on both the inside and the outside of the card so that they look finished on both sides. Although this is completely optional, I wanted to make my floor a little different from the rest of the card. So I'm using some Cosmic Shimmer matte chalk polish in antique rose, and I applied 2 coats of this actually. But you'll see even with 1 coat what a difference it makes. It really helped to distinguish the floor from the rest of the card. It dried real fast and it was an easy process to implement. Next, I've cut some templates out of pink contrasting cardstock, and I've used the dies that come with the coffee shop. Now this I will put in place, and then I can slip the die into that opening created by the template that I've made. And this makes sure that the space around my stamps are very close to the same. It gives me a lot more control and confidence when I'm cutting the dies. The last thing I want to do is ruin one of these nice images that I've spent time coloring because I got the placement of my die in the wrong location. I store these templates with the stamp set and the die set so that I can pull them out and use them anytime later. It really saves me some grief by doing it this way. Now I'm ready to start decorating, and I just wanted to show you this rug close up. Look at the detail on this with the fringe and also the outline on the inside of it. It's so cute and so typical of AI. Now I'm ready to install the counters, and this is the main piece that goes in the center. Each side of this folds twice, and it's the most complicated part to install, though it's not hard. Just remember that when you're installing this, you need to make sure that you've put it in such a way so that it will lie flat when it is shut. So place it flat like I did there, and then put glue on each of the outer flaps, and then put it in the interior of the card in the center. You'll want to make sure that it's not too far to the left and impeding the left or the right folds, and also the same at the bottom. You want that bottom to be really just right at that fold line. And you'll probably have a little bit of excess room on the right and left, or at least you should. And you can see when you stand it up, now you've got that 3D appearance. A similar process is done for the right and left countertops, only this time there is just a right or a left tab to glue in depending on which side you're working with. You want to again just make sure that you're not impeding the fold lines and that your pieces are as close to the bottom as possible. This is because when the card is open and displayed, you'll want the countertops to look as if they're resting on the floor. And now you can see how this card is really becoming very dimensional. The next step is gluing in this rug. And I just need to make sure that I don't put any glue where that tab is. Otherwise, if the tab sticks to my rug, then I'm not going to be able to shut this card up the way it's intended to be. So once I have the rug in place, I'm going to fold it over again and just double check that there isn't any glue seeping into my tab. And I found a little bit, so I just cleaned that out, and that will keep my tab open and it will allow me to shut it like it's supposed to be. The next thing is to put in the sentiment. The set does include a die to cut a really decorative little shape out that also stands up, and the set has this phrase, a hug and a mug, that you can use on it. Of course, you could add many different phrases from your stash. The coffee shop set also comes with an easel sign that you can color and put on your card. And then it also has the hanging mugs, which I placed in the background of the card. I just want to mention the signs that are in this kit, like the one I'm gluing in here, can be customized with your own handwriting. You could write anything you wanted in here, and it could be really cute to say, "Thanks, Joan," or whomever it is that you are giving this card to really make it personal. Now, this is the easel that I mentioned or showed you in the very beginning of the video, and it allows the card to sit up straight so that it will stand and display perfectly. It's really brilliant that this was included with the template set for the matchbooks. To close it up, you just fold in the left and the right sides, and here you'll note that I used the window frames to make it look finished on the outside as well as the inside. Then you can fold up the bottom part and slip the top into the tab. It just is so adorable. This little thing is about 1 7/8 wide by 2 inches tall when it's shut. It's just precious, really. The template comes with a few small shapes like this flower that I used to put on top of my tab and just decorate it up a little bit more. It's a nice little touch. Now when I open mine up, it measures about 3 inches across and 2 inches tall. It is adorable. I just love these, and I'm totally addicted to it. I was so entranced I immediately made another one, and this is colored with just Crayola crayons. I really wanted to show a different look, but also that you don't need anything fancy to color these and get a great card when you're done. Although I'm not showing it today, there's also a matching envelope you can get for these. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Coffee Shop Matchbook cards that I made for you today. You can find these new sets in the Art Impressions store, and I've included links in my video description for your convenience. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate that you're here, and if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and here are also a few other videos you might like if you liked this one. Thanks again, and I'll be back soon with another video.